Perfect, perfect. How are you doing, Chandan?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm doing well. And
Mm-hmm.
today I'm very excited because today I'm going to connect with those people who are very experienced and very, what do I say? They have a good experience of learning spoken English. So
Mm-hmm.
today is really lucky day for me for having
Wow.
interaction with you.
Uh-huh. I am so glad and I'm very happy to connect with you as well. I did watch a couple of videos that you have posted, and I must say that I really appreciate the effort that you are putting in and the time that you are putting in to develop yourself, to develop your spoken English skills. And along with that, you are also helping others with with your efforts and with whatever you are doing on YouTube. So, congratulations on that. Good job.
Thank you, ma'am. This is your kindness because as I consider, if you think the way as a teacher, behalf of as a teacher, so your thinking will be a very different in comparison to the learner, right?
Mhm.
So this is a better way of just increasing the level of your thinking and developing different kinds of skills, methods, idea for the learner. This way you
Mhm.
can maintain your consistency and as well as you will have some, like as a student where you can put giving your full effort, right, to
Mhm.
flourishing your personality and as well as someone's also, right?
Good. That was very well articulated, Chandan, and you summed it up really well. Definitely, there is a little difference between how a learner thinks and how a tutor or a coach or a mentor thinks. So good that you were able to put those into words.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yeah, ma'am. So basically, ma'am, I have seen you over the many applications,
Mhm.
Clipping Go, right? So I think I have seen you.
I was
So
with
they
English Yari.
okay, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that was really stunning. Like your performance towards the learner, and you were giving appropriate ideas, methods for the
Thank
learner.
you.
So it was really great.
Mhm.
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you like them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was my desire to connecting with you. Okay.
Finally, that's come true.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
Okay, ma'am. So nowadays, ma'am, I'm very curious by knowing your strategy about spoken English. Uh, if if the any beginner want to improve their skill at home, so for the beginner, what kinds of idea would you like to deliver to all of them through this video?
Absolutely. So I know that there are a lot of learners nowadays who are trying to improve their spoken English skills at home. And of course, it is very much possible with a little bit of guidance and with a little bit of strategy. You can learn English at home. You do not need to go out, take, five different classes or go to coaching centers. It's not needed at all. So let me start and let me try and put those into points for you so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay. Number one, first is to work on your mindset. Okay. Because whenever you want to do something, you first have to convince yourself that what you are doing is somewhere going to be beneficial for you. If you cannot convince that to yourself, you will not be able to put in the effort and the commitment that is needed. So, step number one is even before commitment, I would say step number one is the identification of the problem that I need to work on my communication skills. There are some people whom I come across and they feel that they do not need to work on their communication or they're good enough, right? Now,
Yeah,
as soon as you reach that level where you feel that I am good enough, that puts a cap or a stop in on your learning, right? So even today I keep doing certifications, I keep doing different courses because I know that there is no stop or to no end to learning new things, right? So that is
yeah,
number one, identification of the fact that you need to upskill yourself. Number one. Number two is setting your mindset or understanding your goal. So having that thought in mind that why I need to improve my spoken English as well as my communication skills, because these two are very different from each other. Your spoken English is different, communication skills are different, right? So,
Yeah.
why are these two necessary? No matter which field you are in today's world, no matter where you stay, your personal life and your professional life both are greatly impacted by your communication skills, right? And your professional life is greatly impacted by your spoken English skills. So, identifying and understanding the importance of these two is step number two. Once you are
Yeah.
clear in your mind, now your learning journey is not going to get halted, or you're not going to uh, deviate from your learning journey once these two are clear. Now, coming to the learning journey, first things first, a lot of people say that you don't need grammar at all for English. That is not true. You need grammar. There are certain topics in grammar which you definitely need to understand. Number one being basic sentence construction in
Yeah.
English, right? So, knowing how to construct a sentence. Next is, once you know how to construct a sentence, which is very basic, you just need to know your nouns, your verbs, your adjectives, and stuff like that. Then you need to understand the usage of two things which are very important, that is articles and prepositions, because these two things, if they are incorrectly put in your sentences, then your sentence sounds wrong and they do not convey the right meaning. Okay, so articles
Yeah.
and prepositions are something that you need to definitely work on. Number three is the major part of English that impacts your spoken or written English is tenses.
Oh.
Tenses, past, present, and future. But for spoken English, you don't need all of them. There are just 7 to 8 tenses that you need to understand and how they are supposed to be used in different scenarios. If you know this basic of grammar, you can at least frame basic sentences in English. Then your journey moves towards advancement,
Yeah.
learning the words, learning idioms, learning phrases, in which, you know, with the help of these things, you can speak in an advanced manner, which will differentiate you from a beginner to an intermediate or an advanced learner. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
your grammar journey or language learning journey. Now, how do you do this? That is the big question, because what
Yeah.
people think is I will just take a 30 minutes class or I will watch one YouTube video and I will learn this topic. Now, that does not happen that way. Okay, for example, I'll tell you what happens. Suppose you want to learn how to play cricket. Okay, you want to get into the Indian cricket team, you want to know how to play cricket. You can watch 10,000 matches, you can read a big fat cricket journal which describes all the ways in which you can bowl, all the ways in which you can, all of that. But will that actually make you play cricket? Will you become a cricketer by doing that? No, right? For you to become a player, you have to get onto that field and you have to start practicing, right?
Yes.
You have to play the sport yourself. Only then you can learn that sport, right? So, similarly, is the case with learning any language, not just English, any language. Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
with the step that you are taking of learning grammar, you also have to start practicing. You also have to start listening. You also have to start a little bit of writing. And you also have to try and do a little bit of reading. Now, I'm not saying that you have to spend all your day, the entire day, sitting and just focusing on English. That is not what is required.
Yeah.
But making simple changes like changing your thoughts into English. Like when we sit idle, we are thinking of so many things. I want to have this for dinner, or I want to go here for my Sunday outing, I want to meet this friend. All these thoughts go on in our mind in our native language, whatever it is. It can be Hindi, it can be any other native language, right? But
Yes.
if you just try and change these thoughts to English, even if they are incorrect, they are still helping you practice. Okay. So speaking to yourself in English, listening to English podcasts. If you don't like podcasts, you can watch movies, you can watch series, you can also listen to stories which are there, like anything that that interests you. When you are watching something, try and turn on the subtitles, because then you can also see the right form of sentences that are being constructed. You can see the right grammar, right? Try and speak to people in English as much as possible. If you don't have anybody, you have AI apps these days. You have, you can always record yourself while you are speaking. You can stand in front of the mirror and you can speak on random topics, right? So a little bit of
Mm,
all of things put together builds that habit of, practicing the language, right? And one more step that you definitely, I would suggest any beginner to take is to take the help of a mentor, right? Why is
yes.
that important? Is because you can do as much of, AI practice or peer practice and all of that. But what happens is your peers, if they are not pro with the language, they will never be able to correct what mistakes you are making. Where is it that you are going wrong? Or you can also pick up more errors from them because they are not experts themselves, right? So
Yeah.
hence, practicing with a mentor is very important in your early days, because then you can get immediate feedback and you can get immediate corrections, and that will help you in learning the language in its correct form throughout the way. And one more big, thing that can impact your language learning journey is the medium with which you are trying to learn. I see a lot of learners, they try to learn from Hindi to English, right? When you do
Yes.
that, you are just slowing down your learning journey, because you will still keep thinking in Hindi. Every sentence, every word, you would want to translate it from Hindi to English, which slows down your learning process. And sometimes you keep on making errors, you keep on making incorrect sentences because you are uh, doing that translation. And understanding the fact that Hindi and English are very different languages in themselves, there is no comparison of the two, and you should never be doing a translation during your learning journey. So, if you can focus on these two things as a beginner, then you are definitely going to succeed, and you can learn the language and be fluent in a few months' time.
Yeah, ma'am. You're right. Because by considering in their native language and try to translating the word into English, it's not a good manner because we are just distracting our intention in both of parts, right? First
Correct.
translating and second considering about sentence, right?
Yes.
So it will never make us as a fluent as we want, especially while talking with peoples and
Correct.
maintaining conversation with any persons, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are the
Correct.
human, we are not a machines, right? In a time we can do multiple works equally.
Mhm. Right.
You're right, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ma'am. So, like I couldn't ask you any formal introductions because
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the viewers are very glad to know about you, ma'am. So, could you
Mm-hmm.
introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I would love to introduce myself. So, my name is Morpriya, you all already know, and I am a
Yeah.
communication coach and a soft skills trainer. I was born and raised in Kolkata, and then in 2014, I moved to Pune, and I have been in Pune for the last 10 years. I am a hospitality management graduate, and throughout my career, I have never worked in hospitality. That is very interesting. But I have worked in the corporate sector, and then after almost about 7 years of working in the corporate sector, I moved into full time training. So I have a total corporate experience of 11 years, and I am a full time trainer for the last 5 years. Recently, I have ventured out as an independent coach, and from the month of January, I'm working, as an independent coach, helping learners like yourself, taking you through your communication journey. And I have also started putting a little bit of, insights and whatever sessions I take, a few sessions on YouTube. So that's another challenging role that I have taken up, because YouTube is full time work, right? There's a lot
Yeah,
of
ma'am.
work you need to put in. So yes, I am putting in a little bit of effort on YouTube as well. And I love training. I love interacting with